My name is Monsieur Maximilien Ledoux, famed art curator of numerous museums. But today, I am the host of the second annual Mammoth Club Art. I really wish I had anything else to be doing. You all were asked to prepare mammoths visiting different places, but perhaps domestic or international, perhaps on vacation or otherwise. So let's get it started. I've come to you again from the Walt Disney Family Museum for our next category. This category is themed parks. No longer are these children. So at this point, I will say how I feel artistically, and I will apologize right now if one of them in there actually is a child's. First up, we have The Sky is the Limit. Fancy Pants takes the mammoth to Disneyland Paris. It looks as though there is fireworks going off above the castle in the shape of a mammoth. I understand that you probably took the work smarter, not harder approach here. That you thought, well, if I just leave the sky white, that is paper that I don't need to cover in. However, it is my understanding the fireworks typically happen at nighttime. So next we have Mammoth Abroad. I'm punny darn it. It looks like this mammoth has been on a cruise. They have the bra on, but they also have one, count them with me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 additional bras. I understand I only like to wear my one turtleneck. Perhaps you only like to wear your one light pink, almost neutral shade bra. I do think, Magical Mouse Kylene, that the title, I think the pun works better if you just end it, after the pun. Next up, we have Mammoth Marnie? Question mark. This is a mammoth that is going on the Jungle Cruise. And it's got a bit of dialogue here. It is a bit light. The mammoth says, I have a sinking feeling about this. The Jungle Cruise skipper says, I'd ask the mammoth to tell a joke. I heard they were a laugh-a-don, but I found all their jokes are kind of extinct. The mammoth is extinct, Skipper. It feels a little insensitive. What are we doing here? Next up, we have Molly in the Mammoth Verse, visiting one of her favorite places, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Looks like she's drinking a beverage, perhaps a butter beer, using the nose as a large straw. Arabin says, now that's ridiculous. Wizard World would never be that empty. Arabin, I exclusively visit theme parks on private visits, so I don't know what you're talking about. I've only ever seen it this busy. On to one heck of a wild ride. They're taking a ride through Mr. Toad's wild ride, I've been told, in Disneyland. We have Molly, Max, and Ellen all represented here with a mammoth riding in the back seat. They've arrived in hell, also known as Florida. This is clearly very high quality work. At first I thought Max in the painting was Satan. I think that hits at some of what I'm feeling. Yes. Next, we have Spaceship Mammoth. Boy, real pull out of the vibes, right? And now we have this mammoth wearing a hat, the Mickey Mouse sunglasses that I've heard are available in Tokyo. It looks as though fireworks, they're missing it. They're missing the fireworks show. The snout, Jess, does look a little bit like sausages. It makes me perhaps want it for breakfast. Next up, we have a real bear-themed park. We have Dolly in the photo, caressing the snout of the mammoth. Max and Molly are going to hug the bear, while Alan, holding a camera, is shouting, no. Always trying to keep them from doing the smart things, I think. Next up, we have The Birth of Mammoth. Now, when you read the title, I don't think this is what you expect. I read it and I thought, well, that could be quite a graphic piece of art. When I was a young lad, I was in health class. I was required to view a video called The Miracle of Birth. And I was, after watching, changed. But instead, here we are at Disney California Adventure. We have a mammoth standing upon a Pixar ball. I believe this is a reference to when the company was founded. However, I don't remember there being a shark involved. I missed it. Well, I wasn't there. That's true. Next up, we have Mammoth Who. You know what's interesting about this? I'm not one to watch a lot of television. However, very, very, very old British TV is exactly the type of television I would watch if I was going to watch television. So I am familiar with this phone booth because they say that it's larger on the inside. I would say the same thing is true about that spaceship Earth. You look at it, you think, wow, it is large. You may think inside, goodness gracious, where did it all go? It's like a magic trick. Here we have Into the Mammoverse. Crush Brandon, I love that you really perfectly framed this for an ovular frame. We have, looks like E.T. extraterrestrial. No, it's not terror. No, I don't watch movies. Last year we did a category about not quite hitting it, right? And that was often because of folks that didn't quite follow the rules. I would argue that, this isn't really about the mammoth traveling. It sort of feels like there's just Universal and then the mammoth was just sort of added to go in. But I like the style so much that we're letting it go. I'm a changed man. Now we have Jaws the Cat's second entry. Jaws the Cat, of course, classically submitted in the first art show, actually won. A picture was made digitally, but then printed out on an inkjet printer and then scanned back in. So at this point, I think it's a bit of a style choice, but this is part de... Very close to my name. All kinds of little bitties that have been hidden in here. We've got a mammoth with a Pokemon hat. There's all kinds of things about the castle, some of which were there last time. There's also things that I don't totally understand, like Ready Whip. It's squirty cream. I haven't heard about that since watching The Miracle at Birth at age 6. That is the end of our themed park category. And we're back. Yes, hello. I now join you from the Lava Museum in Iceland. I understand that this is either a lava canal or, if you have just seen The Miracle of Birth, it may seem like something else. Anyway, this category is lava. We did have many submissions that were about the acquisition and the business of selling lava, and the category will be most likely to erupt. So, also, never mind. All right, let's get it started. This is called Business is Booming. These are the Alan, Molly, and Max in mammoth form as they are down at the base. Now, again, I want to point out, Alan really, really keeping Molly and Max from doing the smart thing here. I will say maybe a little close to that lava. It seems they might be in imminent danger. Sometimes you need to take a risk if you want to get the goods. That's what I have been told. I was born of money. We've got We Lava Vacation. Now, here's a pun, much like the bra pun, but we didn't say anything about it, so I kind of like that. Here we have another beachside look up at the volcano. Now, a single mammoth, not sure how much they'll be able to carry, but they do look at their impending doom. This is how you get a booming business, though, I'm sure, and they are only seeing dollar signs. I think it's a great move. I think they should continue doing that. It's the only thing that matters. And art. Next, we have Nothing to See Here by Selcom. Now, earlier, we saw the work of Selcom's young one, Ezra. And it looks like they've actually set the business up. This time, we don't just have the mammoth, we have the machine that will actually pump the lava and make it usable. Is this it looks like a face mask that somebody has put upon their eyes. But I guess if it keeps you safe. But I do love the creation of the lava pump, specifically 3,000. Now, I'm not sure if that is to make me think there have been 2,999 other ones. Often I think companies just put big number on it because bigger number, better person. Size matters and bigger is better, yes. And what I mean by that is the number in your bank account. Next up. Oh, hold on. I'm so embarrassed. One second. You told me there would not be any more issues. I am being made a fool as a curator. Last year, you made it where there was an adults in the children's section, and this year you've put a children's piece in the lava section. You're making me look a fool. I'm sorry, what? You want me to... You know, I am so sorry. I apologize. Look at this piece. This is lovely. This is erupting with opportunities, an obvious mass. And how right you are. We've got is that a mammoth? We have a mammoth on. Is that a demogorgon? Or oh, no. It's a lava theme. It's a volcano and the ground. That is lovely. Yes, great job. Let's just move on. Next, we have Mammoth, the Lava Connoisseur. Stacey, I love the color. Some people would say too bold. I say perfect. Look at the plants. It's almost as if they have burst forth from the erupting volcano. This is lovely. Which does, I believe, bring us to the first vote of the night, everyone. And so you are voting on most likely to erupt. It does look like we have a bit of a gap here, and it looks like Mammoth Lava Connoisseur will be the winner with almost half the votes. Congratulations to Stacey Strauss for winning most likely to erupt. Well done. Hello, we're back. Welcome to the Studio Ghibli Museum in Tokyo, Japan, a place of great stories and fantasy. And for this section, we will be voting on least likely to be real. First, we have Mammoth in Fantasyland. Now, the thing I need to point out for you, and that I'm gonna challenge all of you on that are in this category, is that 3 of you have the exact same title. 3 of you. It's copy and paste. I love the hump of the mammoth. I like the sweater or onesie. I'm not sure what kind of article of clothing this is, but I do need to push you a little bit on your titling. Because there are only, I think, 7 images, and 3 have exactly the same name. Next up, RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police at Niagara Falls by Lauren JP. Here we have a Mountie. Truly, one of the most made-up things is that there is a police force that dresses like this and rides on, apparently, mammoths. Also, you might notice that back there, we have something that's even more solidly not real, Bigfoot. I also want to commend you that you didn't name your piece the same thing as other 3 people. Next, we have Mammoth in Fantasyland by Big B. Now, Big B, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I miscategorize. I don't know. But it is got the same title, Mammoth in Fantasyland. But I do like your mammoth. What I really like is the swirl of the water as it comes down the falls. A bit of realism there. That's lovely. Next up, we've got Mammoth and Duck visit beautiful Niagara Falls. Well done, Sparkle Jim. You've made it out of the children category this year. I'll have to tell you, there is one specific thing I like about this piece, and that's the pose of the mammoth. Because boy, have I ever seen somebody look back at it like this mammoth is. It's got its back legs, and it's sort of, you know, really giving it, one of these. At this point in this category, I have to think to myself, are the only 2 things worth talking about in your made-up land Niagara Falls and that one tower? That's it? Some might say that this pose is because you forgot to draw a 4th leg, and that it would be easier to just draw a line up the middle of a very fat 3rd leg and make it into 2. Next, we have a slightly different but very similar, A Visit to Fantasyland. I really like one of the inclusions. It's also at Niagara Falls. Why is every picture at Niagara Falls? Name more in Canada then. Rivendell, the Mines of Moria, Hogwarts. It's made up. Anything can be there. Next, we have Mammoth at the Carnival of Quebec. My favorite submission in the category. My favorite one. Because 1, your title, not the same. Number 2, not Niagara Falls. Number 3, a very unique offering. This is the mascot of the Carnival of Quebec, a snowman, a very large 400-pound snowman. This is perfect. No notes. Next, we have the 3rd instance of this. But this one does have more stuff. However, it does have that tower. But I like the moose and the beaver and the puffin. It does feel a little bit like a Where's Waldo, where I'm just sort of to look about. One quick note, though, shouldn't be controversial. Get these out of here. Get rid of them. We don't like them. Next up. Oh, That's it. Now that you have seen all things fantasy, the vote again, the category is least likely to be real. It looks like votes are in, and with 40% of the vote, Mammoth in Fantasyland number 3 by Shell Bell 12 wins least likely to be real. Well done, Shell Bell. Well done. Welcome to the Louvre, where true art hangs upon the wall. Masters represented, and you are also here. But the Louvre is the place for us to look through all of the international paintings that are not of place fantasy. First up, we have Dutch Mammoth. The windmill is a lovely touch. Again, figuring I would love to see a night, a sky of any kind. Or say it's snowing. Next, we have Mam in Japan, which features indeed the Torii Gate and this character from Demon Slayer. Oh, look, my hand goes behind the Torii Gate. Whoa! Look, I can kind of grab on. Oh, look, I'm holding on the Torii Gate. That's... wow. Anyway. Next we have Baby Mammoth Visits Pyramids. Very unique piece. Love the color. A little hard to see the mammoth if you're not looking for it. The pyramids are stunning. But it does appear as though that might be a sun and also the corner. But it is beautiful. Next up we have Mammoth Goes Abroad with Mr. Worldwide and a cat. Yes, that is meant to be a mammoth. Now this is something. Look at the worldwide representation here. I mean, my personal friend Pitbull is in this picture. I believe he's going to be Dr. Worldwide soon, I've heard. But I do like the cat. We can't see it from the right angle to be sure if it's really up my alley. Sparkle Jim's angle would have been better, right? One of these. And then finally, what I like best of all, as a curator, is that you reference where you got the photos. Next we have Orange Mammoth in Paris. This mammoth says bonjour. Certainly an effort in efficiency. Could we have just scribbled the lime green to fill this space? Certainly. Did we instead say, all you need to know is that there is ground under? Sometimes less is more. Next we have Passport to Paris. Here we have this mammoth that is outfitted in quite a fashionable little get-up next to a poodle. And let me tell you, you filled the page. I love the grass. And then we have the Eiffel Tower. And let me tell you, I think you really captured it beautifully and also made me think about that time I watched The Miracle of Birth when I was 6 years old. Next, we have MamFam Global Takeover. Again, traveling all around the world. A bit of a theme I noticed from some of you all. I have a thought that perhaps when we unveiled the theme of this year's art show, as soon as you opened up Google and you typed in, like, the globe, that there is some piece of picture imagery that would be at the top of the image search that kind of looks like this. It's also Epcot. It's also Epcot. No, it isn't. The mammoth is from Epcot. Oh, well, now that is fair. Next up, we have a bit of recency bias has inspired this one, I believe. This one is called Mammoth Max Plays Mount Fuji. And it does have a mammoth in the style of young, rusty, out of practice Max playing a saxophone in front of Mount Fuji. Quite talented here, skipping down Main Street. Quite talented. Next up, we have Butter Cow's Grandpa in Ireland. This is a piece. I couldn't help but notice that it has some imagery in common with my personal favorite breakfast cereal. But then, Orange Bird Jess, I started to sing a little ditty to myself. Hearts, stars, and horseshoes, clovers and blue moons, pots of golden rainbows, and a red balloon. And now as I look upon your piece, it struck me with nostalgia and brought me back to childhood. Indeed, I do count hearts and horseshoes, clovers and blue moons. There's pots of gold and there's a rainbow. But there is no star nor red balloon. Next we have mammoths love bears. And that's true, they do. Look at this. Here we have a mammoth that has visited one Anakuma Cafe. Whole Blair. Seen one of the twins here, popping out their little ham and delivering their coffee. No notes, perfect. I love the mammoth, very unique design. I love that you did the actual hand from Anakuma Cafe. It looks iconic. If you've been there, you know what I mean. Oh, that's the end of the category. Very good. I have brought you to Ripley's Believe It or Not in Orlando, Florida. So this section celebrates the odd submissions of people that kept things a little bit more domestic. The superlative that we will be awarding at the end of this category will be most likely to make you leave your home. I know that's a bit of a stretch for some of you. First, we have Free Hugs by Magical Shorty featuring Bearizona. What I like most of all is, while it's called Bearizona, you know, it's not totally bear-centric. It kind of kept some of the mystery. You say free hugs, I'm not seeing them. Where are they? I hope the Renoir girl doesn't flinch again this year. Now, this picture is outside the wonderful Dragonfly Inn. They're going to be hosting the Festival of Living Art. Quite a controversy. The Renoir girl did flinch. I was in attendance. What an embarrassment for that entire town. Next, we have Mammoth Tsunami. And this mammoth, again a talker, is saying, hee hee. Always impressed by mammoths that can speak. And this one can surf. Like your line work on your hammock there in the back and your palm trees. I think the spiky leaves are my favorite part of the background there. Next, we have Chaos Mammoth wins the Kentucky Derby. And the winners of the Kentucky Derby are Chaos Mammoth, Potatoes, and Yes Chef. Now again, having been, my only thought here is probably there is a need for more hats. But otherwise, lovely. Next we have Winery. This is by an anonymous person who enjoys the grape a normal amount, ... It's not weird. Being an orchard owner myself, one that benefits from the crop growing and gets to drink from the fruit of the vine, I understand. And it's too bad we'll never know who submitted this. I would give them a cheers, but since we don't know who it is, I guess I'll just drink to myself. We've got In-Flight Mammothtainment by Katie Cat or Willikate. You must be one that also goes on the PJs, the private jets, because only on a PJ have I seen such stunning color inside the plane. Next we have Mammothopicus. Mammothopicus. Yes. Mammothopicus on skis. I think it would be tempting for me to say, I know what you did. But I instead will say, I know what you did. You took a character that kind of looked like a mammoth, and you said, if I add tusks, what's the difference? We'll just ignore the uncolored tail. Why do you think the mammoth would use 4 skis instead of just a suggestion, 2 long ones? Visiting home for summer. Lovely. Not only have we got a very smart use of white. You only needed to do the line work of the mountains and a bit of shading. Save yourself the rest. I will note that you've named one of the penguins. That one by the back left foot, that's Mike. I have to wonder what all the other ones' names are. And that is the end of this category. And with that, I will ask you, which one of these is the most likely to make you leave your house? So, it looks like with 40% of the vote, Visiting Home for the Summer by Zoff is the one to make you most likely to leave your house. Welcome to the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum, a place outfitted with crafts ready to take you to outer space. At the end of this, you will be voting on most efficient use of space. Mammoth discovers space by Priscilla. I could talk about how you color different stars, different colors. All of that is lovely. But what really strikes me, honestly, is the constellation. Simple, but I like it. Also, the detail of the helmet. It really looks like glass. Mammoth and bear in space. And here we see that that the mammoth only wears a spacesuit that is entirely see-through. The mammoth has said, you will know everything going on inside my suit. I will show you all of it. Yes, we've got the mammoth, we've got a bear, also aliens. And it didn't make a title, but hello? What is this? Earth has apparently developed a ring. If she liked it, that's when she should have put the ring on it. And it is dangerously close to that asteroid and maybe black hole. There are some concerning things in this. May the stars light your way. Thanks for the memories. You're tugging at heartstrings of somebody that's not me, because I have not been on there, but you're tugging at heartstrings of a lost star cruiser. And even an old, cold art curator like me could be affected, if not being completely distracted by this. You're trying to hit me where it hurts. I look upon the mammoth of fur with tear trickling down its smold cheek, its eye glowing and sparkling, and the stars around it, a perfect bubble of space helmet keeping it safe as it looks upon the galactic star cruiser with the halcyon. And then you did this to me. It just sort of feels tonally different. Mammoths on an unauthorized middle of the night spacewalk as seen from a space day window. Now this, of course, is a recreation of what I have come to understand is a Disney Channel original movie, Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century. I would love to understand artistically how we got here, because we have our frame that looks to be crafted in a fairly primitive program like a Microsoft Paint, which also maybe that is true of these, I think, spray can lines. But then the helmets, fully CGI'd, digitally created. Perhaps you're a 3D artist. Sexy Sax Mammoth in Space, which features a mammoth standing upon the moon, playing the saxophone, while a Fiero with a rocket strapped to it flies by, and there's dialogue that says, "For the family!" Isa, while I know you are incredibly talented in storytelling, let's just say from one expert to another, there is, something left to be desired here. Why is the mammoth's arm tucked under its suspenders? It put on the suspenders and then tucked its arm under the suspenders and is holding the saxophone. I'm not sure what's happening there. Mammoths making merriment and music meander to Mapan. When Breezy submitted this piece, and there are a lot of things that are worth asking. What is this? But when Breezy submitted this piece, there was a bit of a conversation, because I think Breezy was feeling a bit insecure. In fact, the first thing that Breezy said was, you have to zoom in to see the detail. Maybe I should have made it bigger. And I understand, because I mean, just look at it when you zoom it in. It is stunning. Now, she did then follow this up with, wait, OMG, oh no, wait, that looks like a penis. Oh wait, no. Anyway, this is Breezy's full piece for your consideration. And finally, we have Hooter, Don't Eat the Phoenicians map. So here we have a rocket taking off from the sun with Steven Tyler on board, and also a mammoth. The rocket is also called Steven Tyler. Then you've got this mammoth standing on the sun. Then we've got Spaceship Earth, and then it's got a mammoth in here, and it says, I thanked the Phoenicians. So there's a lot going on in here. Lots to take in. That brings us to our vote, everyone. Again, the question is, most efficient use of space. Space. And I'm going to call it, I believe, that is with 33% and growing. The winner, May the Stars Light Your Way. Thanks for the Memories by DM Benello. Tugging at the heartstrings does in fact work for you. The Museum of Modern Art in New York. This is where, again, I am a personal art curator, and I will be showing you my selections of 6 pieces that just stood out to me, and you all will be voting on your favorites. First is Mam Fam Goes to Neverland. Really beautiful. I mean, just really beautiful stuff here. No notes. You know, as an art curator, I'm very impressed. Kongsi, the mammoth flying over Neverland. I love the detail. You filled in the whole piece, but we have all the different icons of Neverland, Mermaid Lagoon, Captain Hook's ship. It is beautiful. You did a great job, and you are my first pick. Next up, Lil Worldwide by Bread. This one, I have heard, has aspirations to be Mr. Worldwide. Big dreams. The smallest detail sticks out to me, but I just really love the little paper airplane that flies about. Very cute mammoth, different style on top of the earth, and the little, the little toad accent on the luggage is lovely. Next up, Mammoth Parks Watercolor by Buckaroo Barn Owl. I am, in fact, a sucker for watercolor, and this one has got the icons of all those different theme parks, and just so pretty. And I was struck by Buckaroo Barn Owl's picture of the mammoth looking upon the icons of the 4 parks. So beautiful. Then we have Room for One More by Amanda T. Art. Yes, Amanda is back again, and this time on Castaway Cay. We've got the little mammoth with its selfie stick. Can I just tell you, everyone, I love a selfie stick. The longer, the better. You have to really get far out. So much detail on the bushes. May I just say, very impressive. Very impressive. 20,000 pounds under the sea. A little play on words, I see. We have the Nautilus of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, of course. Love the use of color. And this is done on canvas. Min Mouse brought it again, loved it. You did Molly the Mammoth last year. This time, 20,000 pounds under the sea. Sinsoji Mammoth by Cotton Candy. This, oh my gosh, very impressive. I honestly looked at it when I first saw it and said, did they do that? Did they actually do that? It just is so meticulous that I am very impressed. So, wow. Very meticulous to do every line, to fill it. Oh, it is lovely. Tokyo Mammoth by War Muzak. Look at this. Look at this. Is that Hercules? Yes. This is a mammoth with Hercules and Mr. Toad and Buzz Lightyear. We have the mammoth traveling up the trail under the Torii gates with Hercules riding on top, his cape being pulled upon by Mr. Toad, and then Buzz Lightyear flying a bit around. So now I ask you all, of my picks, which one does the Mam Fam pick? And with that, we will call it the winner of Mam Fam Picks My Picks. Mam Fam Goes to Neverland by one young Kongsi. Congratulations, Kongsi. Congratulations. With that, Mammoth Fammoth, that brings us to the end of this Mammoth Club Art Show, the 2nd annual Mammoth Club Art Show. I now want to make sure I thank you for everyone that took time to make a piece, to submit their piece, to send it in so that it could be put amongst this curation for this show. Thank you to everyone. Without your submissions, there is no art show, and this is something that I know that somebody that's not me loves to put on, and I do charity to be here.